Hello everyone, I'm Paul Harris, and this is New Perspectives, and also a production of New Perspectives on our cable network, Orangeburg Cable Channel 12. And today I am joined by Dr. W. Franklin Evans, the newly president of Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina. President, we talked to you about 2 months ago. Welcome to our radio station, your first time here, I would presume, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
It is, Mr. Harris. Thank you for having me here.
President of Voorhees. Share with us a little bit about that.
I'm excited to be the 9th president of Voorhees College. Voorhees College is a wonderful HBCU located in Denmark, South Carolina. Founded in 1897. We are affiliated with the Episcopal Church. So I'm just pleased to be the new president there and excited about what we're going to do over the next few days, months, years.
Succeeding someone like Dr. Sellers, does that put any more pressure on you in this role as president?
Well, I'm not Dr. Sellers. I couldn't be Dr. Sellers. He is certainly a civil rights icon. Mm-hmm. I'm just pleased to have the opportunity to follow in his footsteps and to move the institution to a different level, another level, and to build upon some of the successes that he had as president.
Now, let's rewind it a little bit. Let's tell our listeners and viewers, give them a little bit of a background of you, a quick synopsis of yourself.
Sure. I'm W. Franklin Evans. I've been in education, higher education, for over 20 years, even though I may not look that. Prior to coming to Voorhees College, I did serve as the interim president of South Carolina State University. And yes, under my leadership, we were successful in making sure that the institution maintained its accreditation. We did everything we could to keep a balanced budget, to recruit students, to do all of those things. Prior to coming to South Carolina State, I worked as the Vice President for Academic Affairs at Virginia Union. Prior to Virginia Union, I was at Elizabeth City State University. I've worked at Tennessee State University, Alabama A&M, and so I've been in the higher ed arena for some time. Prior to that, I was a K-12 teacher and administrator in the metropolitan Atlanta area.
Was that in the beginning right there?
That's somewhat in the beginning, yes.
So did you ever see yourself growing from teaching from K-12 to becoming the president of South Carolina State, then Voorhees College?
It was never my intent to get into administration and higher ed. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to do was to be a college professor. Wow. Then I thought ultimately I wanted to be a provost. And so I guess you could say I achieved those dreams, those goals, and went far beyond that.
Once again, we're here with Dr. W. Franklin Evans, president of Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina. You listen to the People Station 93.7 FM, and we're also broadcasting on Orangeburg Cable Channel 12. So you've been in office for about a month now, right?
Less than
a month. So how has Denmark and also the College of Voorhees treated you so far? Have you changed residencies? Do you live in Denmark now? How is it so far?
It's a process. Let me say that. I am just honored to have a home, there's a president's home on campus. It is beautiful. And you asked how have I been treated? I have been treated exceptionally well, with open arms. I can't begin to tell you the love and the warmth that I've felt, not only from those at the institution, from the faculty, from the staff, from the other administrators, the students and parents and alumni, but the community as a whole. I had no idea of what love and that kind of graciousness has been. Plus the Board of Trustees have been extremely supportive. And so it's good to be at a place where you're valued, where you're appreciated in advance. And so I'm only expecting great things to occur.
What's the difference between a private school like Voorhees and a public school like South Carolina State? Are there any differences, any more different challenges that you face?
Well, of course, there are many differences. The mere fact that you are a private institution means that you're not receiving the funding, the state funding, or perhaps the federal funding that a state institution would automatically get. At a private institution, it's just that. And so we work hard at being enrollment driven. We certainly work hard to establish partnerships and relationships. Fundraising is it's a key item for private institutions. Certainly we work hard to build our endowment. But the thing about private institutions is that you are private. And so you have to work extremely hard to generate the funds and to bring in the kinds of students, the revenue, the support that you would not be getting from the state.
And being private, how important is it to reach out to alumni? Because they are the big donors. How important is it to reach out to alumni, and how often do you do that?
It is extremely important, whether you're public or private, but certainly in private, at a private institution, it is all the more important. And so I think that our alumni, from what I've been told, they've not been as engaged in the last couple of years as they once were. So we've got to change that mindset. That's one of my priorities, to make sure that our alums recognize what's happening, that change has already occurred, and that we are moving in a different direction. But in order for us to be successful, it is going to require the alums to step up and to take some action. And so I'm excited about just that whole opportunity of engaging alumni, to letting them know that new things are going to be budding on campus, and we certainly want them to be a part of the newness and the change at Voorhees.
If you don't mind, can you share some of the changes that you have on your plan right now as being the new president of Voorhees?
Well, one of the first priorities for me as president is to build our enrollment. Voorhees is not like many other institutions, HBCUs and PWIs, that have seen a decline in enrollment over the last few years. So that is major. We've got to change that and shift that downward spiraling of enrollment. And so priority number one is to build the enrollment. And one of the things that it's going to allow us to do that is certainly to engage the alumni. Alumni are one of our best spokespersons about Voorhees College. We've got people who matriculated at Voorhees College, earned their degrees, and now they're doing great things in the world. We need those individuals to instill that spark in potential students and to help get students at Voorhees College. And so we're starting an all-out campaign of recruitment in all areas, not just South Carolina, but in other states as well, and calling upon our alumni in the various areas and the various chapters to step up and be noticed. One of the other things is to strengthen our alumni base. Increase additional chapters, alumni chapters across the nation. We've got alumni all over the United States, and so we want to make sure we identify those individuals, work harder at making sure we identify those folks, and to get them on board to help us.
What's the current enrollment now?
The current enrollment is a little over 400.
Okay.
I mentioned to you that we've had a decline over the years. Back in 2010, the institution had some 740 students. We want to get back to that, and so that really is a goal. And so over the next 2 years, it is my hope, my anticipation, my expectation that we will be well over 700.
Academically, how do you feel like the college will be able to compete with the local schools like South Carolina State and Claflin? How will you put that game plan into focus?
Let me tell you, one of the greatest joys I have at this moment is that I came into an institution that did not have any accreditation problems. And so I came from a place where we were struggling and trying to make sure that our regional accreditors recognize the quality at South Carolina State. I don't have that problem. We have no issues with accreditation. Our programs are of quality. We've got qualified, highly accomplished faculty members doing what they need to do. Our task is getting the word out, letting people know that we've got fantastic degree programs, and to make sure we have students who are enrolled in those programs.
Your professionalism and also your leadership skills is what make you a dynamic choice. That's one of the board chairmen said. How does that make you feel, hearing the board chairman say that about you?
I tell you, I was not only honored by him saying that, but I was humbled as well, that others see those qualities in me. And of course, the chairman and I've not known him long, but for him to say that, and for others on the board to say that, it really is a warm feeling. It allows me to hold my head up, stick my chest out a little bit better, and to say, wow, I'm doing something right.
Right. You're definitely right about that. So, when you were president of South Carolina State, how did that job prepare you for this job at Voorhees now?
I will tell you, every experience I've had, not only just the presidency at South Carolina State, but everything that I've done has prepared me in some way. It's your struggles that make you stronger, particularly if you're able to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. And so the issues that I dealt with at South Carolina State, enrollment challenges, making sure we had the balanced budget, spending the money that you have, all of those things equate to the same kinds of repertoire that I need, the skill set that is needed at Voorhees. And so I'm going to try my best to transform those same skills that I had there to Voorhees to bring about great change, to increase enrollment, to build the alumni base, to bring in some dollars, some fundraising dollars. All of those things are important. And South Carolina State has allowed me and helped me to develop that skill set.
Once again, we're here with Dr. W. Franklin Evans, president of Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina, joining us on New Perspectives and also the Orangeburg Cable Channel 12. And I was just mentioning, you mentioned less than a month in. Give us a quick synopsis of what you are expecting for the 2016-2017 school year.
Well, as I mentioned, one of the things that I'm doing, my first 100 days is I'm looking, I'm observing, I'm listening, not only with my eyes, my ears, even with my heart, to get a feel of the culture. It's easy to come in and think you know what's best, but I want to listen to what students have to say. I want to listen to what faculty, what staff, they've been there, and so they see things from a different eye that I may or may not be able to recognize. And so it's important that I gain insight from all of those individuals. In fact, I sent out a survey, and I've already gotten feedback from all of those constituents about what they see as my first priorities, as well as some things, some recommendations for how I need to proceed over the next few weeks, few months, and year. So for me, that's extremely important. I want to make sure that for me, as I mentioned, enrollment is critical, and so come January, that's a new semester, and so we don't want to wait until next August to try to bring in new students, because we'll have some students that will be graduating in December. So we want to make sure that we have additional students coming in January. But for the students who are currently at Voorhees, I want to make their experience worthwhile. I want it to be meaningful. I want them to enjoy being at Voorhees and know that they made the right choice. One of the things I'm telling people now, that Voorhees, I don't want Voorhees to be an option for anybody. I want Voorhees to be the choice, that people will be wanting to come to Voorhees, not because they couldn't get into Clemson or USC didn't want them, or even South Carolina State. I want students to say, Voorhees is number one. And if I don't get into Voorhees, maybe I'll go to USC. Maybe I'll go to South Carolina State. But for me, Voorhees needs to be the choice.
That was a nice little recruiting pitch, right?
Hey, I do what I do.
You gotta do what you do. I understand that. With Voorhees being such a small campus,
yes,
and you being such an active president, do you look at this almost as a high school, kind of like where you can walk around, maybe enter in some of the classrooms, give little life lessons or even classroom lessons? Will you implement something like that?
I will tell you, when I was a principal, I had a school that had 1,400 students. And so for me, Voorhees, of course, is smaller. So no, I don't see it as a high school. Because even with larger numbers at South Carolina State with almost 3,000 students, my being engaged is something that I do regardless of the size of people. Yesterday, I took time to walk around campus, to go into the various buildings, to go into the dormitories, to see students. So whether we have 500 students, 800 students, 1,100 students, my act and the things that I do, my actions are going to be the same. I want to be the kind of president that is engaged. I want to be the kind of president that people see, that's visible, that students can come up to, can get to know, and that I'm there and accessible to faculty, staff, as well as the alumni.
So I can already tell you're going to have an open door policy for students.
Well, I told people when I first got there that you may not see my door open. That doesn't mean it's not an open door policy. Right. So I'm available to everybody. That's my role, not to just sit in the office and to think I'm better or that I've arrived. My purpose, my mission is to be there to help, and so that's what it's all about.
You're definitely right about that. It's all about helping students.
It is.
And before we wrap up, would you like to give one last recruiting pitch to people out there that may want to attend Voorhees or transfer in the near future?
You know, I'm reading my history and learning a whole lot about Voorhees. I actually had an uncle that attended Voorhees. I didn't know that until I started working there. Yes, but Voorhees it's a hidden gem. And years ago, when I was about 10 years old, I actually visited the campus for the first time. But Voorhees College has been making a difference in the lives of people for so long, and people just haven't known or didn't know. And so one of my roles and responsibilities is to get the message out, to stand up proudly and boldly and proclaim Voorhees College is not only an institution of quality, but that it will be the institution of choice. And so that's my pitch. We've been doing great things, and our tagline now is that we continue to change minds, we change lives. And so as the president of Voorhees, we're going to continue that tradition of changing minds, changing lives.
That's great to hear. Pleasure you joining me here on New Perspectives, and also the Cable Channel Network, Channel 12. And I wish you the best of luck
at
Voorhees College. You did a tremendous job at State, and I expect great things at Voorhees College as well.
Please come out and visit anytime.
I definitely. I'll probably be out there for homecoming, so you'll definitely.
We look forward to that. Okay.
Thank you once again, Dr. W. Franklin Evans, joining us on New Perspectives, and also Orangeburg Cable Channel 12. Look forward to seeing him again, talking to him again, and also thank you for watching. And we are signing off. Until next time, you have been listening and watching New Perspectives here on the People Station, 93.7 FM.
This has been a production of New Perspectives Media, a part of the People Station, WOCS 93.7 FM, located at 1581 Russell Street, Orangeburg, South Carolina. New Perspectives Media is sponsored by Orangeburg Consolidated School District 5, Regional Medical Center, the Department of Public Utilities, Jimmy Jones Toyota of Orangeburg, National Kidney Foundation, Curry Insurance Agency, Dean Law Firm. For more information about upcoming programming, tune into 93.7 FM, The People Station.